John Brown with Collected Development, finishing my Marvel Annual 95 Flair set. I needed 2 cards, Night Watch and Solo, so let's complete this set too. I thought, like with Star Wars Galaxy, I would just go through the set really quickly, do some highlights. The interesting thing about these 95 Flair are Toy Story came out in 95 as well, and you can see that these are Photoshop, computer-generated coloring, and back then they sometimes fell a little flat. They didn't really feel like the characters or look like the older hand-drawn art. So nowadays they definitely have the right mixture, but in 95 these cards looked a little different, to say the least, but still interesting concepts for each card. Starts off with X-Men. Obviously that's Jean Grey and Cyclops getting married. That was a big thing in 95. You get Nightcrawler, Psylocke, Gambit, Storm, Iceman, Colossus, Beast. This cool shot of Cyclops. Sabretooth as well. Cinch was part of the Generation X team. He later in Power of X, House of X, got even more powerful. He can basically take another mutant's power, even from far away. Jubilee, very cool Jubilee. Extreme. Cable. If he shows up looking like that, you just better run. Nimrod, Shatterstar. Another big storyline was the Phalanx, where it was trying to take over mutants with this, I think it was like a computer virus, if I remember correctly. So that was 1 through 25. I'm going to do 25 card segments until the end. Excuse me, sorry about that. Polaris, Sinister, definitely played a bigger role in the newer X-Men ongoing series. Phoenix, Douglas, Lady Deathstrike, that was a great issue. Broken Claws. This is when Magneto pulled out Wolverine's adamantium, and he discovered he had natural bone claws. Final Sanction. Healing Factor. This highlights first Wolverine with Wolverine versus Deadpool. This is becoming more and more of a key issue. Rogue, Belladonna. This was for Gambit's first miniseries. Gambit was really popular from the start, really. This is Deadpool, and you get Deadpool's miniseries as well. And again, he was also very popular right from the beginning. Juggernaut. Spider-Man during this time was going through issue 400. The 400 issue was Life Theft, and I won't give that away, but let's just say that was a tough issue for Peter. And then you have Mary Jane, of course, and Green Goblin. That's a cool one, iconic. But Scarlet Spider, this was the beginning of the Clone Saga in 95. It went on for a very long time, maybe a little too long, but it was still an interesting concept. Here's Venom 95. He had a miniseries that year, really a miniseries or two since 92, trying to establish him as a more complex character and kind of a anti-hero like Punisher. I think it's been mixed. Oh, Black Cat. And then this is the first one missing. Night Watch, somehow. I never got that one. Annex, he was in Amazing Spider-Man Annual that year. Elektra, this was the fall from grace. Miller went back to Daredevil. Highly recommend. That's an amazing series, story arc in Daredevil. It started with, I want to say 325, maybe 315. And this is the other one I was missing, was Solo. Daredevil. In the Fall from Grace story arc, there was a change in costume. Daredevil's 90s costume didn't last very long. He went back to red pretty quickly, but you know, they were trying to change things up. It's okay, right? Some things stick, right? Invisible Woman. This was during the run where I believe Reed Richards was missing, and for a while it wasn't Fantastic Four, it was Fantastic 3. 4 was crossed out. Galactus, that's a pretty cool one. Human Torch. Franklin Richards. Thing that year in Fantastic Four fought Wolverine, and Wolverine cut up his face pretty badly, actually, and he had like really bad scars that whole year. So if you see him with his face scarred more than it already is, really, it was from Wolverine. Hulk was dealing with the death of a friend. A lot like the Legacy virus and Hulk's AIDS issues were obviously dealing with the AIDS crisis and the repercussions of that politically, socially, etc. Moon Knight, last issue was in 95 for his ongoing series, and they got a young artist, Stephen Platt, to draw the final issues, and the story goes up and down. It varies from good to bad to not good at all, but those last issues of Moon Knight, I want to say issue 55 to 60, were by Stephen Platt, and they are amazing issues and art. Highly recommend picking those up or getting the trade paperback if they have one. They also kept with the 2099 series, which I really have to say, each issue I got, I tried many times to like it. It just didn't work for me. I'm not sure why, just couldn't get into that world, but some people did. And let me know what you liked about 2099, if anything, or if you hated it, let me know too. I don't mind. More 2099, Captain America. He was going through issue, I think, 425 at the time, maybe even more. These are all the Avengers. This is Marvel Knights, darker characters. And then Thanos, Iron Man. He was doing Crash and Burn at the time. There's a Spider-Woman miniseries, Crash and Burn. Wonder Man, Sentry, he was a big deal back then. Hawkeye, War Machine. And this was Punisher. This was the start of the Suicide Run. Highly recommend that. If you can't get all the issues, I'm sure they have a trade paperback of that. And then the checklist. So that is Marvel Annual Flair 95. Thanks for watching.